Good morning. Let's get ready. I have an eye doctor appointment today, so I figured turn the camera on. So, already prepped, of course, inky hyaluronic acid, Fab, coconut skin, smoothing, priming, moisturizer. Should know this by now. I did my brows already. Same thing. I used just a little bit of the e.l.f. brow wax and then my ColourPop Bangin' Brunette. Primed my eyes. Gerard Cosmetics. Clean Canvas Eye Base. But just a little bit up there. My sister's by choice eyebrows are done. And for my foundation, I have already mixed it together. I mixed on the lid of a little Tupperware container. I used the MAC Face and Body. I used Warm 1 and Neutral 5. Together they make, for this time of year, my shade. So, here we go. I don't want to do a lot, just because you go to the eye doctor, your face gets pushed up against everything. Because I do wear glasses already. So we're just going to put a little bit of this on, just a light layer, just enough to kind of even me out a little bit. Nothing major. I absolutely love this foundation. It's very pricey, but if you can manage to get it on sale, which is what I did, I was on vacation, and I came across a store called the Cosmetics Company Store. That's the name of it. And they sold things like MAC, Too Faced, Tom Ford, Clinique. They had a bunch of stuff, and a lot of things that a lot of the MAC stuff were collections that they don't sell anymore. At MAC counters or at MAC online, MAC.com, MACcosmetics.com. So I went in there and I bought that shade. And they still had it where you couldn't test anything out yet. You couldn't swatch anything. So I just took a chance. I think I bought it for $8. And then, get it home after vacation. And it was too dark. So when Ulta had their 21 days of sales, I bought a light shade to just kind of mix it together. And sure enough, actually, there it is. Hiding back here. It is the Max Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. This is, I was completely wrong, Neutral 5. This was the Too Dark. And this is in the shade Warm 1. The same thing. I just pump a little bit on my palette. Mix them together. Put it on my face. For concealer, today I am going to use the Catrice True Skin High Coverage Concealer. This also has hyaluronic acid and is waterproof. This I got from Amazon. I'm just going to take just a little bit. This is in the shade Cool Cashmere 010. It's a little light for me, but that'll be okay. As you can see, it's pulling a little light on camera. I do not have, obviously, studio lights, anything fancy. I just have natural light in front of me, and I have a lighted mirror right directly behind my iPad. So that's it, but it looks fine in my light. So for my blush, I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick Blush. This is in the shade Peach Bums. This, if you can get your hands on it, do it. It is just stunning. And I'm going to apply this with an e.l.f. Jelly Pop Stipple Brush. And I just take it and get a little bit, a lot comes off. Get a little bit up there, and I usually just tap it on my hand to kind of get some of that off. And then I just go in. Looks like a lot's up there, but it's not really showing up much. Let's try it. There we go. Got a little bit more. Let's try this side a little bit. There we go. It's once I powder, this will tang down a little bit. I really, really, really like the glow that this gives. Oh, for such an inexpensive price, too. You just can't beat it. And it lasts for a long, long time. It stays on my skin very good. Now I'm just going to take that sponge and just kind of soften it a little bit. There we go. Now, for bronzer, I'm going to use another glowy one. This is by the brand Kiko Milano. It is the Ocean Feel Bronzer in the shade 02 Natural Sienna. This bronzer was part of a limited collection. Kiko Milano does that a lot. You can usually find this same shade in the different collections that they have, but I really, really, really like this. It's a baked formula. Looks kind of dark in the pan, and it smells like chocolate. Oh, it smells amazing. I'll swatch it for you. It kind of looks like that, and it's just a very almost shimmery bronzer. I'm going to take and use a fluffy brush for this. I'm going to use, this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill big powder brush. This is quite pigmented, so get a little bit up there, tap it off. Now we'll put a little bit on the top just to blend it out. And I'm just going to tap a little bit there, tap a little bit there, a little bit on my forehead, and just kind of go over everything. Softly. This bronzer gives a subtle glow. Then I'll just take anything and run it under my nose, under my little chin there. And I'm not going to use highlighter today, but I will go ahead and do my lips. For lips, I'm going to use Morphe's Sweet Tea. It is beautiful, beautiful color. It's kind of a nude, dark nude almost. And I'm going to pair that with, where are you having it? Here you go. This is Larius, Los Angeles, Larius, the YouTuber. This is her makeup brand. This is her liquid lipstick in the shade Jaybird, I believe. And that's that. Now let's put a little bit of this on. I need to get another one of these. This is about empty. Ooh, nose is running. And for good measure, to keep those best friends together, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Lunar Beauties gloss. This is in the shade Enchantment. Looks like this. It's a little iridescent. A little bit on the center. For my eyes, just going to go in. Very simple. I'm going to use this Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette from Morphe. I have used this one time before. That's what she looks like. These shimmers are out of this world. This is an excellent palette. Very inexpensive. Highly recommend. We're just going to go in with just a little bit of this. I'm going to go in with my Refer 27 brush. And I'm going to start with just barely this shade right there. Then I'm going to follow it up with that shade. This one isn't really the color that I was looking for. It's not really, barely is a good name for it on my eyes. Okay, we're going to go in with that next shade, Good Vibes, and I may put a little bit of Booked in the outer, and for the lid I'm just going to go with something simple, and I may do we'll do Exposed, this deep shade, and I'll put a little bit of All Luxe in the center. Same brush, same Refer brush. Get a little bit up there. Let's see. I bragged on this palette before I ever even started using it on this camera. Don't make me out to be a liar. Morphe. Go in with this Refer 13 brush. This is just a little small blending brush. It is clean-ish. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of Booked next to the deepest, darkest shade. Just put a little bit there. Typically do not extend my shadows past here, just simply because I have crow's feet and my eyes water a lot, and it would just it would leave a blank space there. Again, no amount of primer, base, glue, anything would stop that. It's just my anatomy and my age. I really like this color. I'm going to go in with the first brush with whatever's left on it, and I'm just going to soften this a little bit right up there. I'm not going to put anything on the lower lash line today, just because of the nature of what I'm doing. Okay. Let's find a flat brush. We'll use this. This is a Morphe no number old brush. And I'm going to go in with that exposed, the darkest shade here. Just beautiful. Usually with most shimmers, I do wet my brush. I start out wetting my brush because textured lids, just most of the time they don't want to go on smooth without a wet base or without the brush being wet, but this really does. This particular palette, really enjoy it. Take a little bit more of that, a deeper shade, this one here, just to kind of Make it go a little bit better with that deeper shimmer shade. Just going to get just a teeny tiny amount to just put that there. There we go. Kind of make it a little bit more cohesive. And all that warmth up here, and then that shade. And I'm basically just tapping it, because I don't want a lot, just enough to tie it together. And I'm going to take that same brush that I used this shade with to whoops. Now I'm going to take this small, very thin brush. I think this is a NARS 15, and I'm going to go in with that shade. Oh, looks. Just going to kind of coat my brush with that. And put a little bit on the center. And I'll put a little tiny bit there, just because I had some left on my brush. These are the eyes. This is not wet, not sprayed, nothing. That's it. I will not put any mascara on. I'm going to set this with my L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. Shake it up a little bit and spray. I did not set my face today. That MAC foundation is pretty lightweight. I found with the Catrice True Skin, I don't need to. As you can tell, it's not too terribly bad. I just don't need to. I may go back in right before I get ready to leave and just do a light layer of the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Loose Powder. You know what? Let's do that now. Just that setting spray has got a very fine mist, so it's already dissipated. I'm going to take this on this really big brush, this It Cosmetics for Ulta. This sucker is huge. Look at it. But I love it. It came in a set. And I had put some in my cap, and I just swirl my brush in so it kind of gets all in there. And when I don't want a very heavy, powdery look, that I'll use this brush. Even though it's big, I'll just kind of take and just tap, tap, tap away. Usually, mainly, get it around my chin, excuse me, and my hairline, just because I don't want any makeup to come off on my clothes. but I will kind of go get a little bit around my eyes because I will be at the eye doctor. I will put a little bit on a brush just to kind of set around my nose. This is a Sigma 3D HD Precision. I love this brush. It looks like that. It's good for concealer. It's good for when I do want to put shadow. I use it for creams right there in that part of my eyelid. But for this, I'm going to take it and powder here. I do wear glasses, so I don't want any makeup to transfer onto the thing that the ophthalmologist puts in front of your eyes. 1 or 2, 3 or 4. If you guys have been to the eye doctor, you know what I'm talking about. All right, that's it. Simple look. Like, subscribe, share, and leave me a comment. Again, let me know how I'm doing. I gained 1 subscriber, so yay! You all have a great day. Bye.